Thorin recently made a video regarding the mid lane bias in League. I wanted to make a response to that video to explain why this bias exists and why it doesn't exist to the same extent in other games like Dota. A lot of people have made comments in the Reddit thread for the Thorin video, citing mid lane advantages like being in the middle of the map, being a short lane, being easier for a jungle to pressure, but Dota has all these things too. So why don't we see mid laners as the main carries in late game Dota to the same extent that we do in League? The main reason is something that people often overlook, and it's the fact that there's no such thing as ability power in Dota, meaning that once you hit the max rank of your ability, that's the most damage you're going to get out of that ability outside of target debuffs from items or damage increases from items like Aghanim Scepter. So in Dota, your team's early game and mid game is extremely focused around your mid laner making picks and roaming, but once they start to hit their plateau, the hard agi carry, something like an anti-mage or phantom lancer, will start to take over the game. Now obviously this exists in a small form in League too, because AD carry itemization has more multiplicative scaling, which essentially means that they have a higher DPS ceiling than AP carries. But that might not even be true anymore, especially not when you consider the consistent damage dealing mages like Cassiopeia or Karthus, who have insanely high DPS ceilings. The reason for this is because not only does League have ability power items, but it also has multiplicative scaling for mages in items like Rabadon's Deathcap, Void Staff, and Luden's Echo. That is to say, the more AP you get, the more effective these items become. And of course, in Dota, it's not uncommon to pick up attack speed on intelligence heroes because of the way itemization and attributes work in Dota, but it's not the same type of scaling that mages in League see. Another reason that intelligence heroes aren't as strong later in the game in Dota is because Dota has a lot more itemization to counter mages, primarily BKB, Lincoln Sphere, and Pipe. BKB ignores most magic damage and magical effects for up to 10 seconds, Lincoln Sphere is a much better version of Banshee's Veil, and Pipe is a much better version of Locket. Not only that, but you also have other items like Mech and Orchid, which also counter mages. These items exist to keep mages down, but if you look at the itemization in League, we have many more options to defend ourselves against physical damage than we do against magic damage. Not only that, but everyone gets more armor from leveling up than they do magic resist, sometimes up to 3 times the amount depending on the champion. Why does Riot feel the need to give so much leeway to AP carries when they already dominate the early and mid game? The reason I'm making this video is to ask you all what you think about this subject. Do you like how mid-centric League is, or would you rather transition over to a Dota style where you have a mid laner carry a mid game and an AD carry the late game? Or do you think that AD carries are already strong enough as it is? Personally, I don't mind the game being mid-focused because it creates a more interesting spectator sport overall, in that we don't have the same type of games that Dota has where teams are just farming their hard carries out for 50 minutes until they can essentially 1v5 the game. But that's just my opinion, and I know that a bunch of Dota fans will probably hate me for that, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, and make sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments, or on Twitter, or Tumblr, or AskFM, or anywhere else. Yeah. Alright, see ya.